And some of these political ideas are really designed for your safety. Some of them are, but not all of them. But we see when we look at these, for instance, the Republicans. They say that they talk successfully, they say, about the decline in unemployment rates for black and Hispanic workers. But that's just one gauge. And plenty of troubles and inequalities abound for minorities, black people, dark-skinned people, in other words, people who are not white. Minority groups still lag behind white people with regard to incomes, wealth, home ownership, even before the pandemic. But when the disease struck, it became clear that the economy did not work well for everybody, as the job losses and infections disproportionately hit minorities. In other words, again, I say black people. Absolutely. And we see a lot of lying taking place out there, Omar. I hear that Donald Trump has told 20, maybe 30,000 lies. You know what I saw this morning, Omar? I saw Roger Stone suggesting that if Donald Trump does not win, he should declare martial law and lock certain people up. Yes, I saw Roger Stone, yeah. The criminal, Roger Stone. But if you look at it, Omar, Donald Trump is already setting the climate. So let's talk a lot about the climate today, and national politics, and also let's hit on the local level of politicians. I'm going to have something to say about that too in just a little while. Give us a call right here at 901-452-3094. And you can call also if that line is tied up at 901-327490. I heard Donald Trump say, Omar, if I don't win, there's going to be some trouble in the land. I heard him say that. And that setting the climate, look, the post office, mail-in ballot voting, shut it down, remove the voting machines, the sorting machines. So, I think we should have something to say about all of that. Yes, and I am not alone. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to break away from our regular way of doing things because Isaac is telling me someone is on the line already. Let's go ahead, Omar, and take this call and see what they have on that mind, and that will give us more to work with. Fired up today. Go ahead, sir. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. Sir or ma'am. Hey! Huh? You did what? Okay. Well, wait a minute. Aren't we live streaming, Dan? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're live streaming. Dan, are we on Facebook? Now, I hear you what you're saying. I want to make sure we're doing it right today.
You're not.
She's saying you're not on, Dan.
You're not. It's saying.
Did we tap go live?
It says live.
It's reloaded.
Okay.
It's reload. Okay, let's see what happens. So, we were just talking about today's climate, today's political climate, the campaign, talking about how we hear people saying there's never been an election like this one before, and then someone comes in and start running. Yeah, so someone's on Facebook telling us we need to slide seating to the... Yeah. Oh, violence. Yeah. You know, what's her name? Mama D out of Chicago. She uttered those same words. Totally ridiculous. But have you noticed that it has increased under Donald Trump? The violence I'm talking about, under Donald Trump's, on his watch. Have you noticed that? Well, I've heard it. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. Because the language that he speaks, his base of people, and when you pay close attention, you'll see those guys ready to fight anyone who disagrees with their position. Well, I'm saying yes. Well, I'm saying, well, when you say white police shootings versus violence, you're talking about two things now. Let's stick with just, I think you're talking about violence in the black community. You specifically mentioned Chicago, so that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about, okay, but right now, Bianca, we're not talking about white police shooting. Right now, we're not talking about that. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the violence has increased on Donald Trump's watch. It has gotten worse based on his language. Yeah. Well, not just, yeah. Yeah. Let me. And, yes, it does. The President of the United States is the head of everything, the military, the police department, and he has influence. Yeah. And so he talks badly about the people who have the little, deficiencies or whatever. The media is fake news, and get that son out of here. And well, I want to finish. I want to finish, Bianca, because I'm going to allow you to talk. And so, yes, I'm saying that, no, he's not totally responsible, but Donald Trump has made it worse in this country. The climate, I've been asked, and I ask again, I'm asking you, what is the zeitgeist of this country today under Donald Trump's leadership? Go ahead, sir. Tell us that. The spirit of the country. Yeah. Now wait a minute, Bianchi. That's a country. Now, Bianchi, I'm the one asking the questions. Yes, let's be clear. I just want to be clear. Slow it down a little bit. I have an advantage here. But I'm saying that I have an advantage. And that advantage is that I'm the one asking the questions. All right? And you're the one answering the questions. So when you say something, like you said, that is exciting, I'm going to get on it right then, because I don't want these long answers to get me off of my point, okay? Huh? It's exciting what? Oh, no. I'm just talking about what I know about. Hold on. Well, if you would not interrupt the moderator, they would move. Pianki, you're still interrupting me, man. You're still interrupting me. Stop talking and let me explain to you the spirit of the country. The word I use, zeitgeist. More violence, more protest, more riots, more looting, and all of that. Hey, did you see where the white guy was arrested in blackface and was getting ready to go out and tried to say that this represents black people? And let me say something about Black Lives Matter while I'm at it. You see, you do see black people doing stuff, but these are reactions to all of the hatred and racism has taken place in this country for hundreds of years. That's what that is. And so yes, Donald Trump's administration, violence has increased, and he's partially responsible, and he plays to his base, and they buy into that stuff and back him up and support him up all of his lives, the 20,000 lives, 30,000. But go ahead, Piank. Hold on, Piank, hold on. One more thing. Go ahead. All right. Making America great. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Hey, let me say this. Your friend Melvin Walker, I like something that he says often, and that is a very small fringe group of black people supporting Donald. It is a very small. Hey man, it's so bad, Pianki. It's a. Yes, I did, and listen. Yes, I did. They never responded. But hold on. Let me get back to this. A very small fringe group of black people support Donald Trump. Tim Scott is one of them. A very small few. You know, when you say Donald Trump, people get to jumping up and yelling and screaming. And I like to be fair. A friend of mine asked me, "What has Donald Trump done?" And yes, some of this stuff is unfair. But he. Hold on. I'm going to that. I'm asking the questions, Bianchi. You are answering them. All right. So Melvin Walker says, well, he didn't say this about this group, but I like that small fringe group thing that he says, that he points out. Let me say something. Hold on, Bianchi. We've got some folks on Facebook watching. Kenyatta, thank you for watching. Chatita, thank you for watching. Jamaica, thank you for watching. Jeanette, thank you for watching. We got, I don't know if that's Shy or Shay or Shoot. Nevada Stop Junk is watching. Hey, thank you for...
Stop jugging.
Stop jugging? Okay. No, we've got 3 lines. Yeah. No, all 3 of them work. All 3 of them work. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you today, because you can't see us. We're live on Facebook, and you can't criticize our technology today. If you do, you'll be wrong. So I think I think that's on your end. I think that's on your end, sir. All right, well, here's the question. Here's the... Hold on, Bianca. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Here's my question. Okay? Here's the question. What should black people be doing, Omar, during this campaign? And I'll tell you what they should be doing, and you can add to it. They should be paying attention. And we should look at, and we always say it here, Omar, Bianca ran, but... I want something for my vote. And if we are not getting representation, no representation, taxation, then we must vote you out. And yes, I say politics, the campaign is important. What have you done for me lately? And Bianca is talking about is very good. And some of those guys like that have gotten tax credit. And I think that's very narrow-minded of them, very inconsiderate of them, not to include in their thoughts and in their hearts and in their soul all of the black community, whether you like them or not. Yeah, and some, I don't like everybody. Hell no. I don't love everybody. Hell no. Hey, Omar, let me go to you, man. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to thank the audience for listening in, and I'd like to remind the audience that this whole program is brought to the entire audience for the children in the household. We have to wake up, and there are some that would choose to keep us asleep so we can't get our freedom, but we got to make sure that we ignore them and get past them and go and wake up and keep our children awake so they can be free. There's a lot of chatter about, Donald Trump and Biden and name calling and whatever. But let's do some truth calling.
Okay, yes.
Here's a man, Biden is who he is. And Kamala Harris, he is who she is. So it's like you got to choose between the lesser of two evils in this election. Donald Trump, we know, will bite you, and he'll take you out. Especially when a man will lie about the coronavirus, knowing how dangerous it is, and then play it down. And then 190,000 plus people have died as a result of it. And this man is not being charged as an accessory to a mass murder. He should be put into handcuffs and marched out of the White House today, having confessed that he did tone it down, lied about it, and then people died believing that he was telling us the truth. And the man that does that has committed a crime, and the crime that he has committed is beyond comprehension. Biden is not who I would like to vote for, in no way. But if I got to get bit by a snake, I don't want a snake that got a whole lot of poison. I can handle something that got some poison, I might recover from it. Donald Trump got so much poison, he killed 190,000. I don't want to be 190,001. So that's what we got to look forward to going to the polls. It's not that we're going to vote Biden, we're going to vote Trump out. Right? So that when Trump gets on his TV show and says, "You're fired," then America can say, Donald Trump in one man's voice, "You're fired. You won't be coming back in here no more." And I'm looking at also with Michael Cohen, I think that's his name, Donald Trump's fixer, talked about Donald Trump and his conniving, saying that he may even resign if he doesn't win. And then allow Mike Pence to take the position of president so he can pardon him on the way out of the White House, so that any crimes he might have committed, did commit and might have committed, he can be pardoned for them, so there won't be a need for a trial. And he can go home and be free. I wouldn't put it back up. The language he used about he may not accept the results, that there might be telling people that they ought to vote twice. I heard that in one of his dialogues. But again, here's a man who is a known criminal sitting in the White House, and he got those who are deaf, dumb, and blind supporting him. Refused to hear the truth coming out of his mouth, and then take it as all he was just kidding, he was just joking. He wasn't just joking. If he was joking, that joke has cost people their lives. You don't tell a lie knowing that somebody might believe you and then die as a result of you telling that lie. Something needs to happen to Donald Trump. And it may be that America can't punish him enough. I thought about, as I'm talking about, Donald Trump and his evil ways, if he died, he couldn't even get into hell because hell ain't evil enough for Donald Trump to sit there. He got to build his own hell. And nobody is evil as Donald Trump. Even Satan ain't that evil. So yeah, we need to talk about this man and need to go to the polls to vote not for Biden, but against Donald Trump. It's always going to be against this man who has caused so much evil and wickedness, not just in America, but around the earth. He won't even criticize Putin. I don't care what Putin does or says. He won't criticize the man. Because it's almost like Putin got something on Donald Trump that won't let him open his mouth even say hello in a mean kind of way. Something's going on between the two of them, and we may not find out until Donald Trump leaves the White House. But again, here's a man who walks in evil, talks in evil, sleeps in evil, wears evil on his handcuffs, on his head, all over his body. He's drenched in evil. And you gonna say he's a good man? He's doing things for us? No, sir, he's not. And I'm telling that to every Sam Motors listening in. please understand. Yourself, Donald Trump, hey, Sambo, hey, we got it for you.
Hey, 901-452-3094. Hit us up also on 901-324-7490. Hey, coming soon, a new segment on the Love Power Show. The Sambo Awards are coming. Give you an example of what we're talking about. This week's Sambo Award goes to Charlie Snakeback. All right, now listen. We've got Jayla, Takika, Robert, Kathy, Democracy. Hey, and we've got my favorite cousin watching, Shirley Jefferson. Oh, we've got the great sister Regina Hughes. Hey, we thank you for tuning in. And give us a call right here on 901-452-3094. Or you may call the other number, 901-324-7490. And we are talking about today's climate. And we want to hear from you about the candidates who are running for office. Joe Biden, Mike Pence, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. Omar, you know, I think it was Trump's sister and his aunt. They wrote books about Donald Trump. Now listen, I'm not jumping up and down. Omar's laughing and picking on Donald Trump because he's Donald Trump, because they're out there talking about people want to get rid of him because he's Donald Trump. You know, he's also saying that he's done more for African Americans, and we've got papers here that disprove that since he's been in office. You know, he called the black country shithole countries, Elijah Cummings, what's his name, John Lewis, and all of that. So is Donald Trump a dangerous man for this country, Omar? And I want to qualify my question. That Putin, Erdogan, Maduro, Kim Jong-un, especially Putin, the American people are saying that Putin is doing this and doing this to help bring the country down. No, I'm not for Putin. I'm not for Russia. I think he's dangerous because we may wake up one day and Putin is running the country. What? I mean, this is a pattern. Look, if you're paying attention, what do you see? If you're paying attention, Isaac, what do you see? You're paying attention, Dan, what do you see? Weigh in whenever you get ready. I'm going back to Omar Baruti. Continue, Omar.
You know, when you look at Donald Trump, and when he came into office, he inherited an economy that had been built by the administration of President Barack Obama for that 8 years. Because when Obama came into office, the economy was in a shambles. There were companies going bankrupt. The housing market had a serious foreclosures issue going on. So he comes in and he inherits a house that's falling apart. And over that 8-year time period, he rebuilds the American economy, and then you see employment going up, unemployment going down. And Donald Trump inherits that economy, and he takes credit for what Obama did. But now, Donald Trump, you're in office now. Let's look at the economy now. A Pew Research report says that over 50% of young people in this country, age 30 and down, live with their parents today because there are no jobs out there for them. The job market was booming when you walked in the door, but now it's busted under this pandemic. And you could have done something early on if you had followed your research scientists, followed Dr. Fauci that said you should be wearing masks. We got to control the pandemic. But you said it was a hoax, like you talk about the news. It's a hoax, it's a this, it's a that. And people listen to your madness, and they died as a result of listening to your madness. So you should take responsibility for everything that you've done in your administration. You want to replace the Affordable Care Act because you don't like Obama and anything that's associated with Obama. But how are you going to replace a health care act when you ain't got nothing to replace it with? If you take it away, then what will the people have? These are millions of people that have no insurance. Now they have insurance, and if you take it away, then what you got in place? Because you ain't got nothing on the table. You ain't got not one stroke of nothing that will take a place at that insurance if the Supreme Court says it has to go. So you're going to have some more people dying on your watch? Yes. You are a murderer. Take the hat and put it on top of your head, mass murder, and march your own self to the elected chair.
And then Michael Cohen said, Omar, that Donald Trump really admires Obama. Everything about him, the way he walks, the way he looks. He even said he is not a good speaker. This is what Michael Cohen said on the interview there the other day.
And he knows Donald Trump.
The fixer, Michael Cohen, the fixer, he even admitted that he lied because I'm doing all this stuff for Donald Trump. And so, listen, man, I'm not trying to pick on Donald Trump, but I'm talking about the environment today. You know that word zeitgeist, as in spirit of the country. And we've seen an increase. I don't care what Piante says, man. Have we, I'll tell you what, Dan, have we seen an increase in violence since Donald Trump has been president?
Without question.
Isaac, have we seen an increase? 2 thumbs up.
Even an increase in hate crimes. And they attributed to Donald Trump.
Yes.
Hate crimes has definitely increased.
Who's this? Gia St. Clair? Theo? Who's this? 2 different people?
Yeah, that's 3 different people.
3 different people. Gia, St. Clair, and Flora. Is that Flora? Hey, thank you for watching. As we continue, and that this document says that since the pandemic, Omar, things have gotten worse for black people. Well, they say, they use the word minorities, but we know what that means. That things have gotten worse. So, will the country be, let's do some predictions here. Will the country be in better shape under Biden, whether you like him or not, and Kamala Harris? Omar.
It can't get much worse. You know what he called some African countries shithole countries. America about to be in the same predicament with Donald Trump. He's flushing us all down the toilet.
I tell you,
All
man.
of us. I mean, how can you do that? You politicize the coronavirus. How can you do that? Other countries are taking steps to prevent the spread of the virus. You're doing nothing. And you and your own scientists are talking against what you're telling the people. They're contradicting you. You can't sit down with them and let them, and then take their advice and then follow it so you can go ahead and get this thing over with. You're not doing that. You're going to have a virus, a vaccine before election time. That's an election ploy to get you some votes out of the people. You are nothing but a criminal, man. You're a con man. Stop letting conning people into the grave. Quit doing that to our people.
Did you see the interview with Bob Woodward that Donald Trump did with Bob Woodward? This is what I'm saying. I will not be his undoing. I'm just sitting up here talking on the radio about some things that I see in the news. I think that Donald Trump will be his own undoing.
Absolutely.
Why would he do an interview with Bob Woodward? You know Bob Woodward, the journalist? Pulitzer Prize winner, book writer.
Watergate.
Bring folks down. You know, talking slow, moving slow, asking questions, doesn't seem imposing, etc. Why would he do that? Even Tucker Carlson asked, why would he do that? Why would he admit he knew beforehand the crisis was dangerous, detrimental?
Yes.
He admitted it and came out and said he didn't say that. Look,
A lie
help me.
that told so many lies he don't know. You can't unlie the lie, okay?
Hey, listen, man. Help me to understand. I mean, what is this? What is this country coming to? Omar, what is the country coming to? And let me qualify my question one more time. I asked that question because of what we are looking at. I asked that question because the President of the United States, now this is my opinion, Dan, I think should be a role model for the people of the country. That's what I think. And Omar, before I come back to you, because you've been working really hard, we've got a call. He's really working hard today, Omar. So let's go to the phone. Go ahead, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for acknowledging me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on a minute. No, hold on, don't hang up. Hold on, I want you to get on a couple other things. Brown calling in. Go ahead and give us a call, Brown, at 901-452-3094. or you may call us at 901-324-7490. Give us a call, Brown. Now, Kazi, where are our local, first question, what should black people, African Americans, be doing during this particular climate relative to the campaign? Question number 2, where are our local politicians? I've not heard very much from any of them. So go ahead. Are they simply afraid? Are they afraid to talk about wealth building for black people? Go ahead, Kazi. I got you. What? Okay, second question. Where are our local politicians and what are they doing? That's a general question, and I don't mind if you go specific. I love a specification, but in general, where are they? What are they doing? Oh look, what should they be doing for black people in the city of Memphis? Go ahead, sir. Right. All right. I all right. Hey, thank you for calling, Kazi. I didn't mean to hold you so long, but give us a call. Can you give us a call next week and give us an update on the progress that has been made in your area and arena? Is that right? We thank you very much, sir. All right. Now, Omar, let's build on Brother Kazi along with this today's topic. And what should the question really is, Omar, whoever it is, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, I don't care. What's her name? Kamala Harris and all that. Oh, and by the way, give us a call right here, 452-3094 or 324-7490901, of course. What should black people be doing? Should black people be paying attention? Should we be talking nonsense about the campaign? Should we be talking nonsense about politics and saying we're just gonna ignore this stuff? Or should we be paying attention and be operating as a group? I will say this to Omar. There's never going to be total unity, 100% unity. So I think we should pay attention to where the government is structured. And one thing that you see, one of the things you see in government, you see committees. So we should be looking for people who we can do some things with. My likes, my dislikes, and I don't like him. He smoked a cigarette 20 years ago. You know, I don't like her because when I hit on her, she didn't give me no play. All of that foolishness. I say it's foolishness. Call me up and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, look, line's open right now. 452-3094. 901-324-7490. Rob Moe, another cousin. Thank you for watching. Yes, go ahead, Omar.
You know, my cousin who's operating this video sound equipment over there, he had a brilliant idea about the African American Family Council.
Yeah.
Where all groups, whether it's Alpha Phi Alpha, NAACP, CORE, SNCC, whatever, all groups become members of the African American Family Council. And then we as leaders in those groups can decide on what we want the politicians to deliver. And we as leaders will have our people to vote a certain way based on what we get from the politicians. And if they don't give us what we're asking for, then they won't get what they're looking for. The next time we pull the lever, it won't be for them. And we'll back politicians that give us what we're asking for, because we need things out of this country that we're not getting. And so if you're not willing to give it, then we're not willing to give it to you either. You can't just expect our votes and we don't get anything in exchange for it. And I look at the Democrats and the Republicans in the same way. You're just two wings on the same bird, and that bird is picking the hell out of us.
Yeah.
We got to come out of that mindset that you're not representing us unless you're going to give us what we're looking for. And we need certain things to do things in this country. You gave it to those white immigrants that came over. You gave them land, lots of free land, millions of acres of land. You gave them housing under different acts under the government. Not just the GI Bill, but all kinds of bills. You gave them housing. You gave them starts up in the world. You gave us nothing. You talked about bootstraps. We didn't have any boots. They have straps on it. So we couldn't get it. We couldn't make our way. And then after you gave us freedom, so-called freedom, you put things in our way that blocked us from enjoying the freedom that you so-called gave us. So I want that to end, and I want the politicians to answer for all those things you've done to us. And I know there are some Sambos that was the law, there was slavery, there was whatever. Well, these things happened after slavery, and they're still affecting us to this day. The high unemployment rate to this day, the prison incarceration rate to this day is still affecting us. We can change it, but we got to have the political power, the political wit to make it happen. In the meantime, those businesses that support those politicians that are against us, then we need to stop putting money in the hands of those businesses. I saw this guy come on about MyPillow, one of Donald Trump's favorites. Well, don't buy a MyPillow. Let him and send him. In fact, send him a thank you note. Say thank you for telling me who you are. So I don't give you not one nickel of my money. I'm telling all my family I don't give you none either. I appreciate you taking the cover off yourself, because I didn't know who you were. But anybody that supports that kind of madness, send them a thank you letter and let them know you won't get another dollar. And my whole family will understand that too. But we got to make sure the politicians represent us, and right now we're not together like that. So he keeps, Dan keeps bringing it up every time I talk to him. Somewhere I got to go out there and try to make that happen.
Right.
But we need those groups to come together and have one mindset.
Right.
Just like the Jewish organizations come together. There are many Jewish organizations, but they come together at APEC with one mindset. And they tell the politicians, here's what we want, and we expect you to deliver that for us if we're going to deliver the vote for you.
Many people aspire to politics and political positions not to be of public service, not to serve and represent the people, but to fatten their own pockets. That is their goal. Gold, gold, gold. Many politicians. And Omar, I've got a stack of documents here. I saw where the Democrats, since you bring that up, I saw where the Democrats, a segment of the Democrats worked against Obama, including Nancy Pelosi.
Correct.
As she strut around, those Democrats / used to be Dixiecrats or descendants of Dixiecrats.
Correct.
I saw where they voted against the man. They sided with that group, that Limbaugh group, Paul Ryan and all those guys when McConnell, Moscow Mitch, and that we were going to make him a one-term president. We were going to vote against everything that he does. And you saw the guy stand up when he gave the State of the Union address and called the man a liar.
Yes, sir.
We saw that on TV.
Yes, sir.
And so, politics. What are you talking about? Legislation, laws, directly affect you. But you talk some talk that is non-productive. Well, not everybody, but many people do. And I think this is detrimental to the black community. Yes. And Omar, did you see that? Democrats working against Barack Obama.
Yes, sir. I saw it in action.
Presidential politics,
And it was unbelievable what I saw.
yeah, overlap. Michael Cohen said that Donald Trump wants to take credit for everything that is good. Did the interview with Bob Woodward, said all of that stuff, turned around and said he didn't say it. Now, is that good leadership? Have we seen an increase in violence and hate crimes under Donald Trump's watch? Did we see the 17-year-old come from his town to the other town over there and shoot and kill somebody? A Donald Trump supporter. What is Bianchi Bancoli talking about?
Somebody was trying to support that 17-year-old murderer, saying that somebody was trying to attack him. But the question is, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
You're not there to help the police, because they don't need a 17-year-old with a long gun to help them. They got better guns than that, and they got more force than that if they need some help. And they didn't ask you for any help. So what are you doing there? And then the other thing is, what are you shooting anybody for? Why don't you, if somebody's assaulting you, tell the police since they're standing right there. You just walk down the street and say, hey, somebody hit me, or somebody did whatever to me. How can you justify him murdering 2 people and almost a 3rd person? That is uncalled for, but he's inspired by Donald Trump, as many other people are inspired by Donald Trump, and they go out in defense of Donald Trump and his hatred. That is uncalled for. But their hate crimes have increased under Donald Trump. And there are many groups that measure hate crime, not just in America, but around the earth. And there are even people around the earth that are committing hate crimes based on what Donald Trump, his fiery words, have done to inspire them to go out and do those kinds of things. This is who the man is.
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at some other things that need to be paid attention to.
Yeah.
Some of the legislation that Obama put in place, Donald Trump is undoing it, those things that protect the environment. There was one research group that said that over 25 billion birds that are no longer here. And I started looking, is that true? And I start putting little, little feed things out to see if the birds will come. It used to be birds everywhere, now they're just here and there. Look around your own house, see if you see the bird population this year like you saw last year and the year before. And you'll see it's greatly diminished. You also, like the fires in California, they said that's a problem with global warming. The earth is heating up. The ice caps are melting. There are things that we can stop doing, but Donald Trump is trying to roll back those things that were put in place for the Environmental Protection Act to protect the earth from those things that we're doing to destroy the earth. But we're going to do it because we're going to get a job. But you're going to get a job, but you ain't going to be here to work the job. The earth won't be here fit for you to live on it. Those things need to change. The hurricanes. More hurricanes now, and then stronger hurricanes than we've ever had since we've been measuring hurricanes. The earth is changing, we're destroying it, and we got to stop it. Somewhere we got to go back to us, stop things. This Donald Trump and these Republicans, it'll make jobs. It makes jobs, but it also makes no sense.
Now, and you're absolutely right. So, the role of leadership in that regard, Omar, falls at the feet of who?
At the feet of the president.
And we know who the president is.
Yes.
And so let's look at something. When you see Donald Trump, do you see a man who would address those concerns? Let's look at Joe Biden. When you see Joe Biden, in spite of his past, people say all kind of bad things about him. And that's part of the process. Bad things about Joe Biden, bad things about Donald Trump. That's the way things fall. Do you see Biden as being someone who would be concerned about that and address those issues? Here's an example. Okay? Good question, Carnita. I'll raise it in just a minute. Gavin Newsom in California, he said that men, mostly black men, who are locked up now, complete your sentence, we will hire you as a firefighter. Solutions like this.
Yes.
He's a Democrat. But you have people, let's go to, see, this is the way you win this argument right here. This whole racism thing, you've got people like Bianca, Melvin Walker, and all those people talking the opposite. Racial haters. In other words, when you complete your sentence, you're still being punished, Dan, because you've got to check that box on your application. With all the problems that we have in this country, most of the guys in prison are not horrible, bad guys. And yes, they should be able to get jobs. They should be able to work on the problems that we face in this country. Haven't heard Donald Trump say anything about that. So perhaps, well, not perhaps, I know that's a good idea, Omar, because I'm very concerned. I've got a son in California, an hour from those fires. Now they're talking about moving up to Hawaii, but an hour is pretty doggone close. And so yes, complete your sentence, become a firefighter, and I'll tell you something else that he sees. This is what Gavin Newsom sees. He sees the future, climate change, and that this thing is going to get worse, Omar. So leadership, insightful leadership must come into play. I like what he's doing, Gavin Newsom. Omar, you were saying something. Go ahead. Well, hold on for a minute. Carnita Atwater says, we charge genocide. You're all talking now.
Yes.
We are talking.
Yes.
And I've said on more than one occasion, we sit around here on these panels and these microphones and we talk our asses off.
Yes,
And so we've got to, and I said it last week, week before last, we've got to stop talking and start walking. She raised the question, how do we get these brain dead people to wake up? Omar, that's something you say often. Stop sleeping and wake up. So you've got 2 or 3 questions there, Omar. Take it away.
You know, I think it was Project Pat had that song called "Don't Save Her." She don't want to be saved.
That was Project Pat.
There are some people in Black America that want to stay Samboed, Negroed, and they don't want to be saved.
That's right.
And you can't save them if they don't want to be saved.
Yeah.
That's why when you're a lifeguard, they tell you how to go and save a person that's drowning. And they said sometimes the men are gonna fight you.
Yeah.
And what you gotta do, you gotta hit them and knock them out.
Yeah.
Because they don't know they're drowning, and they don't know you coming to save them. Because they're in a hysterical moment and they're not in their right mind. Sometimes you have to knock black folk out. The white man didn't knock you out hard enough. We got to knock you out to bring you back to your senses so you can know you got to go this way and not that one. If you're gonna support somebody like Donald Trump, you got to be out of your mind. Got to be. So sometimes you have to take that direction to get our people saved from themselves and from the ignorance that have been put, the ignorant chains of slavery that's still on their minds that they came off their feet. So Dr. Atwater is right on point, especially right there. And we cannot stop doing that. Things we got to do in our own homes, we got to stop doing those things. We got to start raising our children. I had a phone call yesterday from a little young man that used to be a foster child in my house. He was calling me from a prison. And I got several children that call me on a regular basis from the prison, but they got misshaped by parents who didn't do effective parenting. They didn't just get off track. They were shaped in a way that they felt like what they were doing was okay. We got to go back to the old style of parenting that we've gotten away from. It's our responsibility to do it. And when you do that, one of the things that we learned in house was who we were. They told you, when you go out in the world, the white man ain't gonna do this to you. The white man gonna do this, do that, do whatever. But parenting has to come back like it used to be in the home. And we've gotten away from it. We let the TV raise our children. We let the video games raise our children. But we got to stop doing that and raise our own children. Because what they're doing is raising children that are not ready for this world. They're ready for the prison. We got to change it.
Omar.
We can change it.
Right. I don't want to give the impression that everything is on. We the people have a responsibility as well.
Yes.
Our responsibility is to be creative, to come up with plans, to influence the political situation. That's sort of what we've been talking about. So I want to make that clear, that I'm not putting all of the responsibility on the politician, because we the people, families, communities, must be working to change the conditions in our communities ourselves. And how do we wake up the dead? I think you said in a sense, Omar, sometimes you cannot wake up the dead. Sometimes you cannot get all people on board with your ideas. So therefore, that's why the committees are important. How do you wake up the dead? You present your ideas, boots on the ground. Well, today we've got social media. Put the message out. And I'll tell you something else, Dr. Carney, that you have to become skillful in pushing back on some of these people. And when you come to the fight, you must make sure that you bring a truckload of pushback, a truckload of whoop-ass, and be ready. Because you've got the different people out there, diverse people out there who like things the way they are, who said things are good, I'm doing good. Master Trump gave me a little tax cut. So, these are some of the kinds of problems that we face as a people. It's war. Bob Marley said war everywhere. War in the East, war in the West, war up north, and war down south. War everywhere. So this is what we must understand in terms of the dead, in terms of those who are not dead, not so dead, kind of half dead, on the fence. So we must be pushing our message everywhere we can. And let me just say this about me. I'm Wallace Red, by the way, y'all. Give us a call right here at 901-452-3094. Hey, Pick up that other line as well, 901-324-7490. And you can pick us up online, join us online. I say to myself, I'm saying, that I should and could be doing more. So that's my charge on me. So I'm up here running my mouth and talking plenty of stuff. Just call me up and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But therefore, I'll call it like I see it. And I see hate crimes on the rise. I see violence. And to Bianchi's point, there's a lot of reactionary stuff going on out there. In other words, a reactionary, you just jump up and do something you don't think about, you have no plan. That's reactionary. So yes, there's a lot of that stuff going on out there. Not well thought out. You see? So we must work, not just talking about the politician, what they ain't doing, and all of that. The question is what am I doing? That's the question. Do what you can. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something else. Paying attention, reading, studying, devising good positive thoughts, doing what you can at home. I have quite a few loved ones, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, children who are interested or getting interested in politics. Some of them are procrastinating, but I can't talk about nobody procrastinating. I'm a big procrastinator. I'm going to do some great things in life, but it won't be today. I'm getting better at my procrastination. They're saying, Baba, I'm going to join you at the station. I wish you would come, and come with the quickness. Come on, Omar, what's your take?
You know what? We have to go back to the nuclear family if we're going to start with any of this. We got to go back to the nuclear family and make sure we do certain things that will advance the family as a whole. One of the things we have to do is start encouraging our children to go into business instead of work for a business.
Yeah.
But the reason they don't see themselves doing it is because they don't see us doing it right now. We don't have black gas stations, black supermarkets, black-owned supermarkets. A lot of businesses we don't have. And the ones that we do have, like the beauty salons and nail salons, are being taken over by the Koreans because we want somebody that don't look like us to tell us we look pretty. And if somebody else say it, it means something. When a sister tell you that, then you feel like, oh, she's just lying. She don't mean that. But when the Korean or Chinese tell you, then you take their word for it. But we need to go back, and like we did in my day. Back in my day, you had no choice but to go to a black business because you couldn't go to a white one. They wouldn't let you in the door. I remember trying to go to Pat's Pizza after they had integration. And the man looked at the door, he had a little glass in the door, looked out, he thought I was a white guy and let me in. And then when I got in, he told me, nigga, I had to go, he wasn't gonna serve me. And then him and his assistant picked me up to the bar stool and took me outside and set me on the concrete. And then I called the police on them, and then the police were trying to explain to me, well, the Civil Rights Act just got into effect, they got to get used to it. And then I said, I don't care, the law is the law. And he said, well, I don't want to get all involved. So I called the police on the police. And so a captain came, and he tried to explain to me the same thing, the same dumb stuff that the officer was explaining to me. But again, I'm in an alternate world because I should have gone to the black pizza party, and to hell with the white one, even though he was in a black neighborhood. But we couldn't go there. There was a black restaurant down the street where you could buy hamburgers, Montez's. But you had to go to the back door. They served you, but they wouldn't serve you inside. Go to the back door, stand out in the weather, the rain or whatever, pay them your money, wait till they bring it back to you in a sack, and then you walk on back to the house. But again, we got to stop doing that and create businesses of our own, where we can patronize our own businesses. And I know a lot of people say, well, you can't depend on black folk. Look, there's some white folk you can't depend on either, but you still go there. The white man give you sour milk, and you go back there and get another jug. You just swap it out, so okay, no problem. But again, we got to make sure we encourage our children to go in that direction instead of the direction we're going in now, because that's where the money is. It's right there in that pot. Not in the pot we're dipping into now, making an $8 hour job with no benefits. That's not the pot. But we got to go and make black entrepreneurs all over again, and we can do that. We got some black billion-dollar companies right now. We just don't know them, but our children need to know who they are so they can say, oh yeah, they can do it, I can do it. And that's what we got to do. We got to inspire our children by looking at the example we already got in the community that we don't even know about. And if we do that, then our young people will be inspired to go to that same level because they see somebody else black that's already done it.
Speaking of you said something that I'm very interested in. What role, how did we get where we are in terms of the lack of businesses in our community, Omar, when you see every corner store, gas station ran by those other than ourselves? How did that come about? What role did the politicians play? What role should they play? And where are we as citizens in that regard, Omar? What should we be doing? Go ahead. That's a rather compounded question, but I think you can handle it.
You know, when I look at the change, because, you know, I'll be 73 in a few more days. I mean, the change that I've seen since, you know, I came into a world of consciousness. What I saw was black businesses all over black America. Black Wall Street wasn't the only Black Wall Street. Every major city had a Black Wall Street somewhere. You could go to a black barber shop, a black grocery store, a black pest control company. Black was black was black was black. Like shoe shop, you had to go there because they didn't want you into their stores. And when integration came, because of our twisted minds, still suffering from the vestiges of slavery, we felt like we wanted white folks to accept us. And if they accepted us, then we felt like we were more human because they had dehumanized our own thinking about ourselves. Like we were subhuman. We didn't deserve certain things. And as a result, the caste system was in the mind, so that we felt like we were second-class citizens and we wanted to be first-class citizens with them. And we felt like if they'll accept into their businesses, into their homes, into their schools, and then hey, we're gonna be just like them. And whatever they gave us, we accepted it. But in the meantime, we injured ourselves by not supporting our own business that were already in existence. And as a result, money got drained out of the black community into the white community, in spite of the covert racism. And there was a lot of it there. We need to go back. There's nothing wrong with having a black business and supporting it, 100%. Because they can create jobs for you. You ain't got to worry about a Korean or Asian or Arab not hiring you because they're going to hire their own. And when you go in there, most times that's who they got working in there is their own folks. They don't hire us to go in there and work. So let's go and create our own businesses, and we can hire our own people and create jobs for ourselves. If you're talking about, and I don't know what the exact dollars are, but they have $1 trillion, $1.3 trillion of money goes to the black community every year. That's more than the country of Canada, just what's in the American black community. Canada doesn't have that kind of money. But if Canada is a nation, in the top 50 nations in the world, then surely we have enough money to create a nation of our own inside of America. But we don't spend our dollars with ourselves. Let's create the mindset that we're going to create a job for our mindset for our children. They're going to go and create a job for themselves. The opportunities are there. Let's find those opportunities and have them come into fruition. But that has to come first, because economics, everything that you can think of is based on the economic system. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a good economic system, you ain't going to have much else.
Well, when you are seeking change, as in this atmosphere, one of the challenges that you will face, I know this because I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've read about it. I've studied it. I've studied the various revolutions around the world. Hey, thank you all for tuning in, Yolanda, Talisha, and Kathy. Thank you for watching. And that you will face opposition from your own people. And you will face it, in some cases, vehemently. I'll give you a perfect example. A live, in color, living example. Springdale and Howard. The foreigner Arab at that corner store, shot and killed a young man. Perhaps we don't know all of the details, but the more we look into it, it appeared on the surface of it that it was a $2 beer. As the young man was running away, shot, fell in the bushes, laid there for 2 days and died. And when we approached this area, that we faced opposition from black people, stiff opposition. Poverty has to do with this kind of stuff. Because in this particular store I know, and many others, there's a line of credit given to the black people. Got some hot wings, you know, the cheese, what is the cheese and tortilla chip, what do you call that?
Rotel.
The Rotel.
Rotel, tacos, nachos, and all that stuff. And so I surmise that this is part of the opposition, and that poverty is damaging in that sense also. So you have to have a strategy by which you have something to offer them. They're not bad people because they're opposing you. They don't know any better, and they don't have any better. I'm talking about having in the better as in the mind. So when I spoke about poverty in this regard, even on Facebook and all that, I was accused by someone of picking on people. And that's another opposition when you speak truth. Another element of opposition when you speak truth about something that you face and you get attacked. And I tell you that you must have thick skin. And Omar, in doing change, seeking change, in terms of the way we look at that scope, and creating our own businesses. You know, Dr. Umar Johnson said that the only, I agree with him in part, the only thing a politician can do for him is give us access to wealth. Well, I wouldn't put it that way, that bluntly, because in some cases we have to work with them in a workable manner. Is that right, Omar?
Yes, you must. In this country, you have a choice.
Go ahead.
As I'm listening and thinking, that incident with the store, what we need to do is to put some competition in the same block or in the same area and give people a choice. That way you don't have to worry about your child, your relatives, your cousin, nephew going to a store like that and getting slaughtered over a $2 beer. You don't have to worry about that. And really, if you put enough of those around, then those who we don't want around will disappear because nobody will support them, because now they have to go to that store. They got other options. When I had my grocery store in St. Louis, I bought a mom and pop store. I was looking at the books, going through the files, working with the owners, and I'm looking at about an average of about $90 a day. And this is back in 1973. 1973, when a pop was 10 cents, a pack of cigarettes was 35 for regular, and 45 for long slim cigarettes. Ground beef, 3 pounds for $1. But here's a man that's making about $90 a day, and he had to compete with a supermarket down the street. I took over the store with some different ideas to make it a self-service store, and we went from $90 a day on day one to over $600 a day 6 months later. So that I couldn't run the store by myself. I had to get my brother and my nephew to come to St. Louis with their family and help me run the store. And I hired employees because I was competing with the store down the street, the supermarket. And I was always going to make sure my stuff was cheap, the same brand, but cheaper price. And so people started patronizing me because I was giving that man a run for his money. And as a result, we got to take that same mindset. That's the competition. He's stealing black dollars. I'm going to turn them black dollars around and make it come out of this pulpit right here, out of this faucet. And we're going to pour those black dollars into the pockets of those black people that come in our stores and work. But again, those people who are in our community that we shouldn't allow to come in there, we did it to ourselves. We can undo it to ourselves by encouraging our children, let's do this, let's put some funding together, and let's show you how to make it happen. So we won't have to worry about what they're doing. That's because we ain't gonna be going there. Somebody else gonna have to go through them and patronize them because it won't be us. But we can do it. But we got to have the mindset to do it. And the mindset is there if we just go ahead and inspire our children and the generation behind them to make it happen. But we got to be the example first. And I always try to make my example, make myself the example for my children. When I got hired at Allstate as an independent agent, your own office, your own everything, not a clock. There were 15 of us. But because I brought a business mindset to the office, 3 years later, the 15 that graduated together, only one was left. Because they brought a punch clock mindset, work from 9 to 5. Mine was a Ken to Kate mindset. And it always has been, always will be. And that's what I teach my children. You work from Ken to Kate. When you get too tired, then you rest. But don't stop. You just rest. And so everybody in the family got a mindset they're going to be self-employed. You got to have that same mindset right now in this generation. Self-employment, not a temporary agency. And if we do that, even if it's something selling pencils, whatever it is. Colonel Sanders was selling seasoning for chicken at the back of the trunk of his car. Then he went into a franchise selling KFC. But he was getting a Social Security check. You can't stop because you old and whatever. There ain't no such thing as you told to do something. You got to take your idea and run with it and keep running with it until it turns into a butterfly and flies into the horizon. And it will happen if you stick with it. That's the mindset we got to have. We got to give it to our children.
And we hear these are true stories, Omar. Colonel Sanders, Montesi,
Yes.
all those guys.
WD-40.
Yeah.
Failed 39 times, but the 40th time it worked.
Selling from your trunk,
Yes.
the back of your trunk,
Yes.
selling products. And what we must understand as a people, that these, and we've watched it, here's what they're doing, Omar. They come in, they set up shop, some of them go out of business, but most of them sell. A new group comes in and moves away. They sell, buy and sell these stores and businesses.
Correct.
And I'm watching it close. And that's all there in our communities for. So when we're talking about black people getting together and black people doing that, we must come to have and understand love for self and that independent mindset. And Omar, those of us who know the burden is on us. And we must push these ideas and concepts. I go to you, LaToya, you said you wanted to say something.
It was a good idea.
And by the way, she's been in the hospital, she's been sick, she had surgery, but I told her not